because esports is ridiculous, as we've established, I believe, multiple times. I actually showed this to some friends who aren't like esports aficionados, and they don't believe it's real. They couldn't. They think I'm a boomer and I'm being, I believe the term was trolled. But let's see. And you can tell me what you think about it. So, obviously right now we've got this weird kind of battle for esports' soul going on. And that is that basically all of these orgs want to present themselves as being, you know, we care, we're diverse, we're inclusive, we're about freedom, we're about human rights, we stand with our LGBT family. They all want that, right? And they all want the cultural, you know, cachet, the cultural capital of doing that in a safe environment to do it. And then when you have to stand up to an entity like Saudi Arabia that's rapidly buying up every property in esports, they turn around and they go, yeah, but the thing is, even though this is a country that criminalizes homosexuality, even though this is a country that has unequal rights for women, even though this is a country that locks up political dissidents and executes journalists, they do have a lot of money, though. And so what are we going to do if we cannot take that money? Well, do you want us to simply lay down in the streets and die, they say? And to that I say, well, yeah. Because if your business model is the only way to survive is to basically accept tainted money, like money from people who do the exact opposite of the thing that you say is core to your values. They all use that phrase, right? Core to our values, core to our values. If someone's core to your values, it's immutable. You cannot compromise it, right? It's core to your values. But it turns out none of these things are core to the values. It's just there's an expectation you say these things. And so anyway, everyone always tries to one-up themselves. They're always trying to have their cake and eat it. And that is that they take the Saudi money, they work with ESL, all these esports orgs, which remember, Savvy Gaming Group, they're owned by the Saudi Arabian Public Investment Fund. And they also want every June to post a rainbow. And by the way, spoiler, they'll be doing less of that in the future. And then they want you to tell them how great they are. And they want you to say, oh, we understand, when they completely betray their values. And you, if you're in one of those groups that Saudi Arabia doesn't respect and criminalizes, and they think that's all going to be okay. So the latest in a long line, I mean, I feel like I'm one of the only journalists talking about this in the space, but it's happening so often now. I feel like I'm talking about it every day. It's actually kind of staggering how often it is. But I just couldn't believe this. This is on Astralis' website. I thought, when I got sent this, I did think it was satire. I thought maybe the website had been hacked. Something was up, but it's Astralis. And obviously, remember, Astralis, they're in the Louvre Agreement. They're one of the big teams in the Louvre Agreement. Bigger than you might think. Might have a lot of influence. And anyway, they put this up on their website. Here it is. Now, I mean, first of all, without the context of the headline, the picture's absurd. But hold this thought. Astralis and Amnesty, in new approach, launch csgo map. Right? Now, I'll just scroll up again. What you have to do is, on this map, you have to throw snowballs at the bad words that pop up. And you can see there's good words there and good phrases like peace and human rights. And then there's bad words, isn't there? Like racism and slavery, which is bad. And so, anyway, what that reminded me of when I first saw it was, do you remember that episode of South Park where they take them into the tunnel of, like, prejudice or whatever it's called? They go in there and it shouts racial epithets at them that I can't say on Twitch because even in context, I would be banned forever. It just looks like that. And it was meant to be shocking because it was meant to give you the experience. Cartman's just laughing at it. And it just looks like that. And it's like, there's the Amnesty International logo. So, anyway, I'll read the thing. It's just... Because again, you have to keep in mind, when I read you the quote, just keep this picture in mind. Just keep this picture in mind of peace, racism, equality, discrimination, unity, human rights, slavery. Just keep that in your mind while I read this, and try and process how ridiculous this is. Astralis and Amnesty International Denmark are launching a new campaign to combat online offensive behaviour and foster a safe and welcoming gaming space for all. Many young people find joy and camaraderie in gaming, a positive hub and a necessary escape in their daily lives. The gaming community is mainly supportive and inclusive. However, there are still instances where young individuals encounter offensive behaviours in games like Counter-Strike. Unfortunately, some parts of the gaming community harbour a hostile atmosphere, with young gamers sometimes face homophobic, racist or sexist remarks. Now again, guys, I do want to just remind everybody of Astralis's history with this. Remember when they did their Valentine's Day TikTok thing, and this is what they came up with? Because remember, they want to combat sexism, guys. So, I mean, you know, kind of important context. They deleted this TikTok, right? Which said, the top 3 CSGO pickup lines you can use on Valentine's Day. 1, can I wallbang your double doors? 2, you look factory new, but after I'm done, you will be battle scarred. Turn around, girl, because I'm a flash, and bang you. Right? Now, they deleted that. And then and I obviously had got it and did a stream about it. And hundreds, if not, you know, it probably wasn't 1,000, but hundreds of Astralis fans sent me messages telling me I was making no big deal. I was making a big deal about nothing. And it's interesting, isn't it? Because those are sexist. And it's not, they say here, unfortunately, some parts of the gaming community harbour a hostile atmosphere, with young gamers sometimes facing homophobic, racist or sexist remarks. And then that sentence should end, if they come to the Astralis official TikTok. That's all of those things appear to be going on, right? So, okay. Love a bit of sexism over there. But it's all right. Don't worry about it. We'll continue. Astralis and Amnesty International Denmark now want to tackle this issue head on. For Astralis, gaming represents friendship, unity, and inclusion. This from the organisation, you remember, where 2 of their professional players one had to get a sick note to get some time off work because they wouldn't give him leave despite that individual being a legend towards the org. And the other guy had to threaten to do that to leverage a move away from the team. But it represents friendship. We're all friends. We're all a family here at Astralis. So for Astralis, gaming represents friendship, unity, and inclusion. We aim to bolster the safe gaming culture through their partnership with Amnesty and spearhead new initiatives. We aim to enable the youth to resist and report hateful and harmful behaviours. And then, it shows you here, the Amnesty Challenge, exclusive Amnesty map in CSGO. Now, I'll say something a little bit controversial here, right? We can cut it out, Griff, if everyone loses their mind. Jace is on standby, this will trigger him. But I don't know if you saw, there was a map that was made recently, and it was a map. I can't remember what it was, but it was to do with it was so you could fall through the floor of the map, and they were updating in the map every day the death toll out of the Ukraine. And they sent this out as a press release. I got it because I'm still on a lot of journalistic press release mailing lists. And everybody upvoted it, and everybody was tweeting about it and what a great initiative it is. And I didn't read it that way, which is why I didn't promote it or reply to it. Because to me, it felt like these were a bunch of map designers that just wanted attention. And they were using the invasion of Ukraine to get that attention. And therefore, it felt to me really tasteless. But everyone else in the industry was going, no, it's really good because obviously in Russia, they don't get the truth, do they? They don't get the truth. So by putting the truth in a hidden part of a CS map, then no one will know about it. And I was like, well, don't do the fucking press tour then. Like, because now everybody knows. So you're kind of giving the game away. And also, how the fuck are you getting the real death toll numbers when the governments aren't even getting them? So, I don't know. I didn't like that. I thought that was stupid. And what I'm worried is that we've got this stupid trend of, let's build maps for retention for causes that are just shit, serve no functionality whatsoever in terms of gameplay, and are just there as like some cheap publicity stunt. So, anyway, the Amnesty Challenge, exclusive Amnesty map in CSGO. As a part of this initiative, Astralis has created an exclusive Amnesty map in CSGO named Amnesty Challenge, targeting students from grades 8 to 10. Now, I don't know much about the Danish education system. I'm sure we got some Danes there. You've got some Danes in the chat. Any Daners in the chat? What is grades 8 to 10? How old are you? 14? 13? 14? They're going to think this is lame at that age. But anyway, whatever. This map emphasizing LGBT plus issues, freedom of speech, and fake news. Emphasizing fake news. Why would you want to emphasize fake news? I don't know. All right, whatever. Maybe that got lost in translation. Aims to nurture a deeper understanding of equality and human rights. This map is vital for including educational institutions in Amnesty's ongoing engagement with the youth. Now, don't worry, we're going to look at the cringe. We'll all look at the cringe together, right? But not just yet. Mads Rasmussen, partnership director at Astralis, said, gaming and esports have grasped an entire generation and are attracting a rapidly expanding audience in Denmark and globally. Oh yeah, we know that, but only if they're Astralis fans. Not too keen on them liking anyone else like that heroic organisation that you fucking have managed to sabotage multiple times. It's about sport, entertainment, fostering social connections across different groups, and facilitating learning, all of which we at Astralis are committed to nurturing and expanding. However, gaming encounters challenges, particularly when girls, remember those girls that they were talking about earlier? Remember those girls that they were making light of with creepy chat-up lines and TikTok? Astralis really cares about these girls. Particularly when girls feel compelled to use pseudonyms to evade sexism. Can't think why they need to do that when, flash and bang you is considered fair game. Or when they face offensive, homophobic or racist behaviour online. Sadly, this is a mirror of what we see on social media, and it is a trend we are determined to change in the gaming sphere. It is a massive undertaking that Amnesty and we need help to handle, but starting with mutual respect is vital for us to advance further. We believe that united, we can change perceptions about appropriate or inappropriate behaviour. When everyone participates and contemplates their actions, we can indeed make a positive impact, says Mads Rasmussen. Furthermore, the campaign plans to unveil an educational module this fall. Among other activities, Amnesty will tour public and vocational schools nationwide, sharing a unified, encouraging message and urging the youth to contribute to fostering a positive change. Now, I'm going to put my headset on. I think it's only fair that we have a look. If you're ready for this. Whoa! We can do that again. So, I don't want to say this looks a bit shit and sort of whacked together, but I don't know, some walls. Walk through some walls. Remember, they're aiming this at 13 to 14-year-olds who've probably already been gaming for 6 years. So you got to walk through some walls, okay? Right. Then destroy the negative words. Right, we've got them. War and bad. Got that. Then we have to pick up all of the rainbow flags, right? No context about why the rainbow flag is a symbol of the LGBT community or how that got popularized or why that's important or any of that stuff. Just pick up the flags. Oh, we're picking up the flags. And then remove the tape from the faces. I don't even know what's this supposed to symbolize. What is the tape off the mouth? I don't know. Is it censorship? Free speech. Yeah, there you go. Okay. And look at this. Spot and mark the fake news. Something about Facebook and Instagram there. There we are. What's your best time? Now, super interesting because, again, remember, Astralis genuinely care about these things. It's core to their values. And what they do is, you can see here, we'll go through. So you have to find a rainbow wall in that one, right, at the start. You have to find the rainbow wall and walk around. If you wore the rainbow symbol in Saudi Arabia, remember, you play in the... You work with ESL. You are a Louvre agreement partner up until 2025, when the Louvre agreement will functionally end because Valve is putting a stop to partnered leagues. But for now, I will certainly point out that you are a business partner of the Saudi Arabian Public Investment Fund. Why hasn't Astralis walked away in utter disgust? Weird how not one of these orgs has done it. But anyway, you have to find a rainbow thing. If you played this video in Saudi Arabia, you'd go to prison. So. Then, what's the next bit? Oh yeah, the negative words. The words with negative connotations. Well, human rights, yeah, I agree, pretty positive. Saudi Arabia, of course, one of the biggest human rights violators on the planet. War, they're kind of involved in that, aren't they, with the whole Yemen thing. Saudis are actively engaging in a war right now. Again, the rainbow flags, we know, will be arrested in public. The Saudi Arabian state just sentenced someone to death. Remember, the Saudi Arabian state, that is the Public Investment Fund, it's the same thing. They just sentenced someone to death for tweeting. So, I don't know. And then, obviously, fake news. I have to say, one of the things that always happens whenever I tweet about Saudi and all the terrible things that they're doing, I always get dozens and dozens of people from Saudi Arabia that tell me it's all Western propaganda. We're all just making it up. Apparently Khashoggi's basking in the Maui sun right now. That's a Running Man reference. So anyway, I kind of pondered a little bit about those kind of like bigger reasons. And it's kind of weird because I want to remind everyone, because everyone seems to have forgotten this aspect of the story. So I don't know if you remember, but back when the NEOM deal, and again, for those who don't know what NEOM is a super mega technologically advanced city where tourists are going to be able to come and engage in all manner of haram activities in Saudi Arabia for the purposes of making money. And that's it. That's what it is. But basically, it's being built on stolen land. And not stolen land like, we stole some land way back in the day. Stolen land as in they stole it like yesterday. They said, nah, fuck you. To a tribe that has a historical claim to the land. And they killed the leader of the tribe saying, well, he had a gun. Like Shane, the movie Shane. So anyway, when Blast said, we're going to take a sponsorship deal from NEOM, it wasn't just the broadcast talent that said they had a problem with it. It was also the teams. And Astralis was the leading team to say, hey, we don't want the NEOM sponsorship deal here on Blast. And people totally forget this part of the story. Blast teams take firm stance against NEOM partnership. This is from everyone's favorite journalist, Striker, on HLTV. Blast Premier Partner organizations have teamed up to take a firm stance against the tournament organizers' recent controversial partnership with Saudi Arabian project NEOM. And you can see here, there's a quote Astralis, who have spoken out far more publicly than the other partners. The organization's CEO, Anders Horsholt, gave a comment to Politiken.dk stating that his organization finds the partnership unacceptable and explaining that they have made it clear to the tournament organizer that Astralis can in no way stand up in a context where our brand, players, our partners are connected with companies of this type. What happened? What changed? You then went and signed a fucking... You're in the Louvre. You're still in the Louvre agreement with fucking ESL. You signed an extension to that agreement. They're now owned by Saudi Arabia. But what changed? It's crazy, actually, that everyone's just forgotten this rampant piece of hypocrisy. But I'll tell you why it was important back then, right? And while it was easy to stand up about Neom. So what a lot of people don't know, and that magazine, by the way, is quite crucial, Politiken.dk. It's a political publication in Denmark. And so what happened was, and people might not know this, there were a few politicians that were speaking up about Blast and Astralis working with, the fucking Emiratis, the Qataris, the Saudis, taking Neom partnerships. The politicians were speaking up because way back when these companies got started, they took some money out of the Danish investment fund. They took some government money. And so there's a reasonable expectation that they won't, engage with other foreign powers that would do terrible things that fly contrary to Danish values. And so now Astralis are kind of throwing out these little piecemeal things. Like they've done a recent thing, obviously, about the women's team, and they were some of the most vocal people pushing the GG for all hashtag, over in the ESL Impact League for women. But people have absolutely forgotten that they were the most vocal to take a stand, and yet there they are, over and over again, working with these, working at these ESL events. That is just madness. Utter madness. But no, a shit map in a video game for Amnesty International, the mega cringe, it doesn't absolve you, unfortunately.